What's up guys, and welcome to another YuGiOh Duel Links video. So today I'll be sharing my deck profile for Anna Kaboom. So as you know, Anna Kaboom's deck is mainly consisting of trains and earth machine type monsters, and here it is. So as you can see, I'm playing 3 copies of Night Express Knight, 3 copies of Train Trolley Ollie, 1 copy of Super Express Bullet Train, 1 copy of Anchor Drill, and 2 copies of Lion-Hearted Locomotive. So the reason I play 1 copy of Anchor Drill is because it allows me to special summon another Earth Machine monster onto the field. Henceforth, it gives me the chance to Xyz into any of my rank 4 monsters just like that on the first turn. Whereas for the spell cards, I'm using Into the Void, 1 copy of Advanced Draw, 2 copies of Train Connection, 1 Air Cracking Storm, 2 Karma Cuts, 2 Super Team Body Force, and 2 Wall Disruption. So as you know that the monsters here are mostly having 1800 points of attack or higher, well, upon summoning, except for Night Express Knight of course. So with that being the case, once you normal summon Infinite Track Anchor Drill to bring out any of the Trolley Ollies, or even Lion-Hearted Locomotive and go into your rank 4 Xyz, you can essentially go into your first turn like that, or you can start off by activating Into the Void if your hand were to be full of spell and traps that you can activate during that particular turn. Henceforth, you'll be drawing cards and actually setting something onto the field for that following turn, so you can go for more plays during later on. Next up, I'm playing 1 copy of Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, Y Meister, Kachikochi Dragon, Gem Knight Pearl, and also Dreadnought. For Dreadnought is basically a stylish Lord Galaxion, but instead of detaching materials, at the end phase, once this monster has battled your opponent monster for that particular turn, you can Xyz into Gustav Max during the end phase as well. Meaning your Gustav Max will have 3 materials, then you can activate Gustav Max effect 3 times. Aside from that, Gem Knight Pearl is the one with the highest attack points in my Xyz extra deck. So 2600 is pretty decent. Not to mention, if you were to use Trolley Ollie as a material, it will increase its attack in significantly up to 2400 points of attack. And Kachikochi Dragon is for multiple attacks during that turn only. Meister on the other hand gains attack points for each of its own Xyz material, and Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon is pretty self-explanatory to go over your opponents that have monsters that have very high attack points during that turn. So the reason I'm playing Into the Void and Advanced Draw is because they function as my draw engine for the deck. So there are certain times where you run into a Night Express Knight, and then you do not have any other place to go for during that turn, or you already have a monster and you want to draw more cards for that next turn. You can activate Advanced Draw to draw more cards, or you can activate Into the Void to draw 1 extra card, and then you have to discard your entire hand at the end phase. So for this, once you draw 2 more cards, you get to go for more plays, and Super Team Body Force is one of the few ways I can cheat out my level 10 monsters onto the field, well, except for Express Bullet Train of course, because the combo itself allows you to special summon, monster removal, attack reduction, multiple attacks, and also much more attack points in this case for Train Connection. So Train Connection requires you to actually banish 2 level 10 machine monsters in order to double up your monster's attack point and also inflict piercing damage. So this would only be viable only when you have Gustav Max already on the field with 3000 points of attack, and you detach all the materials, then you can go in for the last attack. And for the skill Out of Control itself is pretty interesting as well, since these extra cards will be added into your deck, like Rocket Arrow Express, Snowplow, Hustle Rustle, another copy of Night Express Knight, Gustav Max, and Special Schedule. So once these cards are added to your deck, you'll have actually more things to actually draw from. Henceforth, you don't actually need to worry whether you might not actually have enough cards in your deck left, or you can actually go for much more plays to go towards to. So instead of being a fully machine-focused deck for my extra deck, I plan to mix and match a little for Kachikochi Dragon and Gem Knight Pearl, because sometimes you might need to go for multiple attack points. That's also what Air Cracking Storm is for. So Gustav Max, after attacking, you want to attack 1 more time, go ahead and do it, and you can deal more damage and go for the last attack. And that's pretty much it for the deck profile itself. So let's get into a duel with a duelist against our original Anna Kaboom, shall we? Alright, so right now I am dueling against the level 40 Anna Kaboom for this case. Going against ranked duels, however, most of the time the connection will be lost in certain unexpected reasons, most probably for internet connection and whatsoever. But regardless, this is actually one interesting way I can show you how you can play this deck. So starting off, we have one copy of Arrow Express and one Knight Express Knight. The only drawback here is that once you special summon Rocket Express, you can actually conduct your battle phase during this turn, but that's fine as well because we'll be inflicting burn damage at least. So right now we bring out Rocket Arrow Express, then we normal summon our Knight Express Knight, then we'll go into Gustav Max for this particular turn, so that we can inflict burn damage since we cannot conduct our battle phase, but that's okay as well. Since this is only at the first turn, we can still do a lot of damage. Doesn't matter whether your opponent manages to go into something of higher attack points, we have Karma Cut to set on the field along with one copy of Warlord Destruction. So now we're going to activate Gustav Max ability and inflict 1000 points of burn damage. And now we just end our turn and see what our opponent plans to do next. Okay, that's fine. Alrighty. So now we draw into Knight Express Knight, so I'll normal summon Knight Express Knight. And then I will activate Advanced Draw so I can tribute Knight Express Knight to draw 2 more fresh cards from my deck. And as you can see, I have Super Express Train Bullet Train and also one Express Train Trolley Ollie. So the thing is, you don't want to actually special summon Super Express Bullet Train, because if you want to attack, you must send 2 other cards you control to the graveyard in order for that to happen. So for now, let's just continue on with the duel. Activate Gustav Max's effect and inflict burn damage some more, and then we'll just continue on with the battle. So as you can see, this deck itself, you can do a lot of combos if you want to. It might be a bit slow, it might not be as fast as most of the decks that you are familiar with nowadays, but at least it has that consistency for it to go to. So now it goes into Train Iron Wolf, which is fine, because we'll be chaining Karma Cut and getting rid of that particular monster. And there you go, and goodbye. And now our opponent's field is wide open. We can use Super Express Bullet Train's effect and get back one copy of Knight Express Knight into our hand. And now with her life points at 2000, we can now go in for the final attack and win the game. So that's pretty much an example of the playstyle you can go against Anna Kaboom deck-wise and how you can build the deck. Because as you know, most of the other cards that were available for her, especially for the level 10 machine type monsters, they have a sort of very special and very exclusive special summoning style. For example, this card, known as Unsinkable Titanica, requires to be special summoned from hand by tributing 2 tokens. So normally when you have monsters that can special summon tokens, normally you cannot actually normal summon or set during that turn. Henceforth, this card is pretty risky to play around, so I'd rather not play this card in the deck. Not to mention with my deck being dependent on actually using Earth Machine type monsters. That is one thing I need to keep in terms of consistency, because as you can see, Bullet Train itself requires an Earth Machine on the field, whereas the others are pretty much Earth Machine types as well. So if you want to play those kind of cards that require special summoning via tributing tokens, you can play that. But you gotta make space and plan how far ahead you want to go to, because there are certain ways you might actually break with tokens instead of actual monsters on the field to go for your Xyz or for your special summon synchro and whatnot. Which is why I'm playing this kind of playstyle, so at least my level 4s with Locomotive at 2400 points of attack, and also Express Train at 1800 points of attack, and also Infiltrate Anchor Drill to special summon and go into Dreadnought Dreadnought or any of my other rank 4 Xyz monsters on that turn itself. while gaining a slight boost of attack using Trolley Ollie's effect to 800 points of attack. And that is pretty much why I built this deck, and this is how we're gonna play it. Although there might be future changes in this deck profile depending on what kind of cards are coming along, or maybe if I'm still playtesting and see what new combos may actually proceed. But so far for the draw engine, advanced draw and into the void are pretty useful, and you can tag them in just so that you can play around this deck to get more cards into your hand. And you can get rid of Train Connection if you want to, because this card is only situational, and especially for an Earth Machine type monster, and if you have 2 level 10s in your graveyard to actually activate this card. If not, this card is pretty much a brick and you can't do anything about it. Whereas all the other cards inside this entire deck profile has its own means and its own uses as well. Anyways guys, that's it for the deck profile for Anna Kaboom. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys will try out your own Anna Kaboom kind of train deck, or maybe go for a machine deck that doesn't actually requires you to play any of the cards to go into Gustav Max. That's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time in the next upcoming video or event. Until then, stay safe but keep dueling. Goodbye and good night.